We welcome you into our broadcast this afternoon from the Schneider-Triton Center for this matchup between the visiting Madison Edgewood Crusaders and the Notre Dame Academy Tritons. Joey Bonadonna, Dom D'Angelo along with you this Thursday afternoon here in late December. Dom, this should be an interesting matchup.
Should be a good one. Both teams come in pretty evenly matched, I would say. Both average around 55 points per game. Both teams riding 2-game win streaks, and it's always fun to get an out-of-conference opponent in the middle of the season.
Yeah, not a lot of knowledge between both of these teams. They don't know each other all too well. They don't play each other ever, according to my memory. I don't remember the last time Notre Dame has played Edgewood, as we're going to have the lights coming out here in a minute. We'll start with the starters for the visiting Edgewood Crusaders. Junior guard number 0, Rex Lamb. A senior guard number 3, Mateo Jimenez. A senior guard number 11, Al Diang. A senior guard number 13, Lucas Kos. And a senior forward number 40, Mark Herring. You look at this lineup here for Edgewood, a lot of length stands out. You go ahead.
A lot of good size, a lot of experience, a lot of seniors in that starting lineup. So it's going to be definitely difficult. We talked about it the last time Notre Dame played, which was already a week ago against Preble, how their lack of rebounding at times was not an advantage for them. So they have to make sure to box out everybody on the boards with this big lineup that Edgewood brings to the table.
We're going to go to the starting lineups for Notre Dame. The typical starting lineup of Lawton, senior guard Emmett Lawton, a senior guard number 2, Henry Weber, a 5'11", senior number 12, Max Augustine, a 6'5", senior number 14, Ethan Wallateam, and a 6'3", sophomore number 30, Adam Guyette.
Interested to see the matchups early on here. And there we go. So it looks like we're doing a little role reversal. I'll be taking the play-by-play reins. Joey will be adding some of his incredible sports knowledge, as he always does, to the broadcast tonight. Here's a drive by Lamb, kicks it back up top, and now they'll swing it around to the corner to Herring, who drives on Augustine, and a foul. Joey taking a little bit of the Bob Costas pregame role there. It's always fun to hear that.
Yeah, it's something to add on in this game. Foul trouble always.
There's a three-pointer put up, no good by Lamb.
Foul trouble is a key to this game for Notre Dame. You want to stay out of it. You want to keep your starters on the floor as much as possible.
Absolutely. Here's Guyette at the top of the key. Hand off to Weber. He'll drive it on the left side, and a foul. That's going to go against Jimenez. So we just mentioned foul trouble, and right away the first foul against Edgewood will send Henry Weber to the free throw line. The first one's a bit short.
Weber had a good game last time out against Preble.
Yeah.
Looking to open up the scoring for both sides here.
It's going to be interesting to see what Notre Dame looks like. His second free throw's put up and good. They were supposed to have a game last week against Bayport, but obviously due to the weather, that got postponed to a later date, and we will make sure to keep all of you up to date on that. There's a drive, no good by Jimenez, and the rebound caroms out to Wallateam. He'll get it back, drives on the right side, goes up, and can't get it to go. Tips the rebound to himself and puts it back up off the glass. So the first field goal of the night belongs to Ethan Wallateam. He also had a good game against Preble as he comes up with a steal. Here's Lawton going up with the right and finishing.
Very quick early on in this game as there's Jimenez misses.
That could have been some shattering of that defense that Notre Dame tried to put together. Here's Guyette in the corner. Driving it. Driving lanes are open, and he lost it on his way up. And the rebound is controlled by Herring, and here comes Lamb.
Notre Dame playing faster than we're accustomed to seeing in previous games.
Usually like to slow it down. Maybe that is because of the depth that they have. To quote Jay Wright back in the day. There's a drive and a kick out. And they'll reset it with Jimenez up top. Student section Triton bench getting into things. Weber will watch Jimenez. And it's over to Herring. Drives on Augustine. A lot of drives early in this one. That one hard off the glass and no good. And here comes Lawton the other way. Fakes, now drives, and is blocked. But a foul. That's going to go against Dang. And that'll send Lawton to the free throw line. So what do you think about this pace early on? A lot of quick shots put up each way as the first free throw is good there.
Well, usually when you see a game play fast like this, it normally doesn't go towards Notre Dame's direction, but currently now they're up 7-0 early on Edgewood.
Pace in this one has been quick, to say the least, to start. Edgewood looking for their first points. Jimenez will take it and dish it. And an open jumper here, high arcing shot is put up and in by Mark Herring. At the elbow jumper, gets the scoring started for the Crusaders.
Here's a little bit of press as we see here from Edgewood after their first bucket.
Something that we've been seeing a lot of in FRCC play, maybe not so much in Badger West. I don't know how much you've watched Edgewood play. Here's a drive by Weber, puts up the floater, a little bit short, and a tough rebound brought down by Coase. Edgewood looking to swing it around. Here's Jimenez. Herring, good catch. And there's a foul on Weber. He didn't like the call.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of pushing and shoving, give and take. Eventually the foul goes against Notre Dame and Henry Weber.
Some substitutions in for Edgewood. Number 2, Donovan Nedlikoff. And number 4, Paul Krask. I'll get it right to Nedlikoff. Goes in on Wallateam. Good defense from the big man there. As they'll swing across court in the corner. Nedlikoff fakes. And now we'll pull it back out. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Augustine. That's something that we saw a lot of in the Preble game. A lot of post-up opportunities for the Hornets in that game, and they were really dominating Notre Dame inside.
Haven't seen a lot of post-ups so far. We'll see if Edgewood starts to go to that.
We talked earlier about their length. There's a good steal by Guyette. So that might be something to look to take advantage of as we go throughout this game. As Wallateam has it now on the left elbow up top to Augustine. Lawton, here's their main scorer, steps back for 3. And the rebound is controlled by Dang.
Nice dribble move there by Lawton, just wasn't able to finish the shot.
Dang going coast to coast, can't finish the layup, and a foul underneath. It's on Adam Guyette, that's his first. Guyette was in foul trouble a bit the last time that the Tritons were in action, so definitely something for Coach Babinski to manage. Foul trouble to his big men. Another substitution, Hunter Dobrinsky checked in. He had 15 points in their last game in a Edgewood win, so definitely a guy to keep your eye on as he handles a lot of the scoring load, and he's got the ball right here. Triton's not allowing much inside, as much as Edgewood does want to go inside. Here is Nedlikoff, watched by Weber. Stop and start, kick out to Dang. Thought about it, didn't tee up that 3. A long defensive possession, and in turn a long offensive possession for Edgewood. As they do go inside here. Ball's ripped, and a foul on Weber. And now
a little tangled up there at the end of the play.
Yeah, showing some sportsmanship for each other there, Wallateam and Krask.
Yeah, Wallateam just making sure that that was not intended to be anything that boiled over.
Nothing too major there. Weber will head to the bench, and Charles May will check in for Notre Dame. Here is Dang, watched by Lawton. That's going to be an interesting one to watch there. Ball is knocked away by May, and here comes Guyette. No foul is called, and Guyette with the finish.
Adam Guyette almost lost it there on the way up.
Looked like he may have wanted to try a Euro step, just went up strong instead. Here's Jimenez. Watched by Guyette. This is more of a matchup defensively that he likes. Had to guard some bigger players, Jack Thorpe in particular, in their last game. There's some good ball pressure put on Dobrinsky. Dang up top. Here's a three-pointer put up and way short. Jimenez came up a bit short from the corner. And now Lawton will run the point for Notre Dame. There's a nice cut by Wawateam, and he finishes.
Slowing down a little bit. That was a nice transition bucket, but overall this game is slowing down a little bit on this end of the floor.
Pace has definitely calmed down a bit from those opening minutes. Dan got his own rebound. And now Dobrinsky loses it for a second. Augustine's right in his face. Some good ball pressure being played from Notre Dame. Nenlikoff watched by May. Pulls up from the elbow. Can't get it to go, and Wawateam grabs another rebound. Their leading rebounder on the year, and it's obviously important for this at times undersized Notre Dame squad. There's a nice kick out. Augustine for three, short. Another nice tip out, and Guyette controls it. Now the Tritons will reset. Lawton has an opening, takes it, and makes it.
No timeout yet from Reggie Patterson and the Crusaders bench.
You got to be thinking about it pretty soon. The lead is up to 11 now. Edgewood is staying content running their offense. Ball's nearly knocked away from Jimenez. There's a drive inside. Gets by May. Can't get it to go. Rebound is loose. Nedlikoff comes up with it. Here's Dobrinsky driving. His pass is tipped and taken by Guyette.
Lucky to be able to haul in that rebound. That initial offensive rebound, definitely one that Coach Bobinski is going to be talking about at halftime in the film this week.
Definitely something to mention in the film room later. Here's Augustine. Tritons have had a lot of driving lanes so far in this game. Lawton pops. May's going to tee it up for three. Yes!
There's that timeout from Reggie Patterson. Charles May, look at that off the bench, knocking down a three. Notre Dame full control of this one.
It's got to be a good sign for him. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Notre Dame basketball on the Triton Sports Network here on YouTube. We welcome you back from timeout here from the Triton Center. Notre Dame leads at 16-2. And Joey, I think, at least for me coming into this game, there was going to be some question about how Notre Dame was going to handle not having played in really 2 weeks here. They were supposed to have a game last Thursday against Bayport. Obviously, due to weather, that got postponed. Here's a three-pointer put up and good by Mateo Jimenez.
Much needed bucket there for Edgewood.
Big bucket there. So, but I have to say, I'm honestly impressed with how Notre Dame's been in control of this game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's
Rader inside, hard off the glass, no good. And the rebound to Coast, who just checked back in. Here's Dan going coast to coast.
Now here comes Edgewood in return.
That timeout was definitely a good call there. Here's Augustine breaking free. Rader goes up, no foul. Ball went right over the basket. It was expecting some contact, it looked like. And Jimenez just traveled.
Andrew Rader checked in 2 quick shots for him. Last two have missed.
It's good that you're seeing him aggressive, though, because
Yes,
if they
absolutely.
can get him, they can get him going.
Just need to see those shots to fall, and
The thing
You're
that
gonna
you
have a
gotta
nice-
like there is that they're close to the basket, which is where he likes it. Here's Augustine. Rader now has it on the three-point line. Back to him. Trying to set up that back cut. They've hit that a couple times so far tonight. Augustine to Wallateam. They'll keep swinging it around, keep playing catch until something gets open like that. Augustine goes up, can't finish. And Dang quickly comes the other way. Just made one. Now he loses it. Here's a three-pointer put up. No good. Dang, another offensive rebound. And a block from Rader. Ball is struck behind Dang's head. Here's a three-pointer put up by Jimenez. That was way downtown. And a wild defensive possession is now controlled by Emmett Lawton.
nice defensive play by Andrew Rader. We saw that in the Preble game. Just hoping to see the both sides of the floor put together.
He's definitely done some good things since his return. Wallateam looking to go to work. And now Lawton's got it. Rader pops. Keep running this screen with the one guy from the elbow on either side. Trying to get some cutters open. It's worked for a large majority of this first half. There's a near steal. Wallateam corrals it. May in the corner. That's an air ball, and it's controlled by Herring. And releasing and finishing. A beautiful finish from Lamb.
A 7-0 run here for the Crusaders.
And there's another near steal.
They've been undercutting Wallateam in the last couple of possessions. And we're going to see
Some substitutions. It looks like Wallateam and May will head to the bench.
a debut for Braden Davis.
How about that?
Broken collarbone during the football season. He's worked his way back, and now he's coming off the bench in this game against Edgewood.
Nice to see him back. Guyette also checked in that last break. Was looking for him there. Loses it. And now Rader has it. Here is Davis with it on the elbow. Triton's running this 5 out. There's a near steal. Lawton takes the driving, puts it up. Shot is good. Doesn't look like it's going to count.
Foul on the floor.
Crusader foul number 2.
It's on Donovan Nedlikoff. First on Nedlikoff, and now Notre Dame will have it. And Lawton looks to set things up. Tees it up for three. That's from way downtown, and a tough rebound is taken down by Paul Krask. Coase had it blocked, it looked like, by Lawton.
A lot of bodies there were able to put a contest on that shot there from Coase.
You gotta love these physical type games with guys hitting each other underneath. That is old school basketball right there. Davis almost had it taken away. And here's Augustine. Kicks to Guyette, he'll drive it. And a blocking foul called on, I believe, Mark Herring. And it is on Mark Herring.
Crusader foul number 40, Mark Herring.
It's gonna be his first. Wallateam comes in for Rader. So some good minutes from the sophomore. Notre Dame will set things up. This play reminds me of watching some old Greg McDermott Creighton Blue Jay teams back in the day, but they turn it over. And they leave Nedlikoff open for three, and he makes them pay.
10-0 run now for Edgewood. It's a game of runs. It is a game of runs in basketball, and Edgewood quickly responding after finding themselves in a deep hole to start the game.
They've gotten into a bit of a rhythm, it seems, offensively, at least from behind the arc. That's a couple threes they've knocked down.
Looking at the other slate here in the Fox River Classic Conference. Outside of Edgewood coming up here to take on Notre Dame. Preble playing against Mosinee in the tournament, holiday tournament over at Preble. And then Medford against Sheboygan North at the holiday tournament over at Sheboygan North. So these kind of standalone non-conference games, especially in the afternoon, not common. You usually see a tournament being played during the winter break. But it's 2 years in a row now that we've seen a standalone game over Christmas break.
Augustine broke the pressure, couldn't finish. Outlet to Lamb, who tees it up. And Lawton controls it. And to your point, it's got to be somewhat weird for a team because a non-conference opponent trying to prepare for that. Normally when you play non-conference opponents at this point in the season, you are in a tournament, to your point, Joey. So it's got to be a bit different preparing for a team like this on both sides.
Notre Dame for the last 3 years. There's an and one.
While the team inside got to his left hand, he'll have a chance for the old school three-point play.
We're talking about it. Notre Dame played in a tournament down in Cedarburg for the last 3 years. Coach Wabinski took that one off the schedule, decided to fill with a few other non-conference games rather than going in a tournament direction.
Free throw from Wallateam is pure. He's had some struggles from the free throw line this year, but that one looked pretty darn perfect as Notre Dame's lead is now back up to 7. Jimenez working against Guyette, now over to Dang. He's been flying in the open court. As he works on Lawton, they leave him for 3. And a rebound is controlled by Guyette. Looked like Wallateam tipped it underneath to him. Wallateam will take the opening over to Augustine. Wallateam takes the opening and can't finish. Dang now pushing in the open floor, goes around his back. And Wallateam comes up with the steal. And this might be showtime.
They missed. But they get the offensive rebound.
They do.
Brian Wabinski not happy with it.
No.
He could have made that extra pass there to Lawton, but lucky to get another possession out of it.
I also don't know why Lawton didn't shoot that layup right there. Looked like he was open. There's Guyette with a tough shot, can't get it to go, and they can't capitalize off of that Wallateam steal. Here's Nedlikoff working in the corner. Up to Dang, watched by Lawton. This has been a fun matchup to watch so far in this first half. Couple of handoffs here. As Jimenez has it, watched by Guyette on the perimeter. Jab steps to his right. Floater is a beautiful one. Got it over the outstretched hand of Ethan Wallateam. He's now up to 5 points, and the lead is cut to 5.
Really balanced scoring both sides of the floor. No one really totally taking over so far. I mean, also the fact that it is a little more low scoring than you'd anticipate.
Under 4 minutes to go. We're not at a team having 20 points yet. Notre Dame looks to get to that 21, maybe even 22 mark here. Lawton will drive. Kicks it to Wallateam, fakes on the 3, goes inside with the left and banks it home. So there is that 21-point mark.
Ethan Wallateam much more comfortable from the left side of the rim. He's been taking a lot of shots from the right. Going with the left hand, missing.
He's been very aggressive here in this first half, already up to 9 points. A guy who only averages about 8 points per game. There's a three-pointer put up and good by Dobrinsky, and a foul.
3-point field goal number 500 Varsity. Triton foul number 4.
A foul is going to go against Notre Dame. That three-pointer will count.
The foul, I believe, was away from the play. So yeah, 21-17 is our score.
Couldn't quite see it. It had to be under the basket for Charles May there, as we see the pressure look once again from Edgewood. And they swat at the ball, don't quite steal it. Lawton just gets over the timeline. Now he's stuck. Wallateam will run things up top for Notre Dame. Over to Guyette. Hits the cutting May, who puts it up, can't finish.
That's another one that Coach Bobinski's going to talk about in film. A lot of these players finishing with the wrong hand on that side of the rim. That's something that he likes to see corrected. May with another shot with the left hand on the right side of the rim.
Jimenez on that last play threw it a bit too far for Dang to go catch. And to your point, a lot of shots around the basket that just have not fallen for different reasons, maybe offhand finishes. As Lawton tees up for three, in and out. And Dang controls it, looking to push once again.
Not a solid start from three for Emmett Lawton.
Here's a three-point for Dobrinsky. He just made one from that same spot, and he knocks down another one.
Edgewood right back in it. Notre Dame's still up by one.
That
And
ball
there's a
is
steal.
tipped. Stolen by Mark Herring. Looked a little indecisive with it as they get it over to Jimenez. He'll tee it up, and an offensive foul. An illegal screen is the call on Mark Herring. That's his second foul, and it'll give Notre Dame the ball back. That shot, unlike the three-pointer, will not count. Emmett Lawton looked to be in a little bit of discomfort on the sidelines there. He checks out. May and Rader just check back in. And now for Edgewood, number 22, Jasper Allman has come in as well. There's a steal and a finish from Coase.
First lead of the afternoon for Edgewood. And this press is really giving Notre Dame some fits.
Guyette will take it. Finishes strong with the left hand.
Notre Dame takes the lead right back. Gonna see a really high tempo end of the first half.
Dobrinsky is on fire from downtown. That's his third of this first half. And you go into the halftime dressing room, that might be one that you want to look at, not giving him too many more looks from three. As Wallentin tried to fire it down to Rader, and that ball was not tipped. Just threw it out of bounds.
Rader was looking for a tip, did not get it.
It'll be Edgewood ball with 1:12 to go, and they have a 2-point advantage over Notre Dame. And Jimenez will take his time getting it up the floor. He's got to get it across the timeline, and just does.
No shot clock. You can.
Coase driving, and Wallentin may have gotten a piece of it. And now he's got to watch by Dang. They go into Rader. Tough catch. Being grabbed. And the foul is on the ground.
Rader was double teamed there, was looking to try to go up. No real intention to kick that one out to the open man, but he was able to finish the contact, but not before the foul was called.
Looks like they're going to line it up to...
That's going to be in bonus.
It is in bonus, you're right. So the 1-1 for Andrew Rader. Looking to get on the scoreboard. First free throw is long, and the rebound to Dang. And no one is back to guard Jimenez. Fakes on May, goes up, can't finish, and Rader comes back with the rebound.
It's a huge rebound there for Andrew Rader, getting back after shooting the free throw.
And a really missed opportunity from Edgewood. There was no one within a few feet of Jimenez until May finally got back, and he just couldn't quite finish it. Here's Guyette working with 15 seconds on the clock. Trapped underneath, nice pass to Rader, who finishes.
There's Andrew Rader finally getting on the scoreboard.
Beautiful pass from Adam Guyette. We're down to 4. Dang drives and is fouled.
It looked like Ethan Wallentin was all ball, but the foul's going to go against Guyette, who was the secondary help man.
That's 2 on Adam Guyette, so foul trouble not necessarily a huge problem right now. Dang puts in the first free throw, but definitely something to manage. Substitutions for both teams. Lawton and Weber return for Notre Dame. Allman checks in, and so does Nedlikoff for Edgewood for the final possession. This for the lead. And he got it. 2.1 on the clock. They go to Walla team. He's got to tee it up. He will. Tried to go glass, couldn't quite bank it in.
Ethan Walla team, not typically a three-point shooter, but that would have been a nice shot for him. Was unable to get it to fall. Tritons are going to go down by 2 as we go into the break.
We've got a good one for you this afternoon, folks. 27-25 the score. We'll take a quick break for halftime, and then we'll tee it up for the second half. You're listening to Notre Dame basketball on the Triton Sports Network here on YouTube.
We welcome you back to the Triton Center. Joey Bonadonna, Dom D'Angelo with you with the coverage here from Green Bay. A little halftime show as we head into the second half. Early on, obviously, Notre Dame had a 16-2 lead going into the first time out. But since that, it's been Edgewood on a run of their own.
Yeah.
And now they have the lead. A game that Notre Dame looked to be in full control of. Edgewood's done a really good job of storming back. What do you have to say about this first half?
I think if you're Notre Dame, you got to get back to running in transition. The first few minutes of this game started off really fast for both sides, but that's when Notre Dame really got their lead at the beginning of this game. And now that it's become more of a half-court offense kind of game, they've given up some threes to Edgewood and most namely to Hunter Dobrinsky. He's knocked down 3 of them. I think you got to get back to running in transition if you're Notre Dame, trying to get some easy buckets, because their half-court offense at times has become stagnant, which is never what you want to hear when you're playing in a high-level game like this one. So try to get some easy buckets in transition coming out of half.
Edgewood's done a really good job to shoot the 3. Notre Dame on the other end, not so much. They've had 1, maybe 2 threes that I can recall in this first half. Emmett Lawton not shooting as well as you'd hope he would. He does have, I believe, 7 points in this one, but in need of him to step up shooting the ball if you want to take those shots. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. We talked about it in the first half of the first half where Notre Dame started off really fast. They were getting those transition buckets. They start to go away from it, and now Edgewood is starting to dictate the tempo on their side of the floor. I think playing fast really does benefit Notre Dame in a situation like this where you're not always having the biggest guys on the floor, other than the fact that Andrew Rader is usually the biggest player on the floor.
Well, especially to add in the fact that it might just be one of those days because Edgewood has made a lot of their perimeter shots. Notre Dame has not. So you need to try to limit as many perimeter looks as you can, but you also need to create offense for yourself, because when you do shoot a lot of perimeter shots like Edgewood has, that's going to lead to long rebounds and potentially some runouts for this Triton squad.
We're going to take a timeout as we get into the second half. We'll be right back from the Triton Center. Edgewood up 27-25. We'll be right back with second half action right after this on the Triton Sports Network here on YouTube. And we are back. Just about 30 seconds to go until second half. Dom, any keys to the game that you've got for these two squads if they want to pull out the win?
If you're Edgewood, definitely have to keep up this three-point shooting. It got them back into the game, and it ultimately gave them the lead. So you got to definitely keep that up. And maybe once or twice, if you get the right matchup, maybe look to go inside in a post mismatch. Notre Dame has been vulnerable to that a little bit so far in this season. And if you're Notre Dame, you got to find a way to run Edgewood off of the three-point line. So the strength for Edgewood has been their shooting, and that's really what Notre Dame's weakness has been. And like we just talked about at halftime, you got to find a way to create some easy shots, especially in transition. Dictate the pace of the game, because to your point earlier, it seemed like Edgewood was, for the last, call it 8-9 minutes, was really dictating the pace of the game. as we're back underway.
Typical starters on the floor for Notre Dame. Henry Weber here running the point.
Into Guyette, and he is blocked by Dang. That was a nice pass from Walla-Team. And there's a three-pointer. We just talked about it. That one no good, and the rebound to Herring. And now Jimenez will line things back up. Adam Guyette had a good look underneath the basket, just got rejected emphatically by Al Dang. And here is Dang, watched by Lawton. He's been looking to drive a lot, kicks it. There's a pull-up jumper way short. Rebound tip taken by Herring, goes up on Walla-Team, and that may have been blocked again. So Walla-Team definitely doing his part inside defensively.
Another one, you can't be giving these second chances, multiple second chances on that one to Edgewood.
Guyette is fouled.
It's gonna be the second coming here against Coase.
So Notre Dame will tee things up, some heavy ball pressure and a foul on Rex Lamb.
2 quick fouls.
That'll be his first.
Everyone on the floor now for Edgewood with a foul, except now Lamb was just subbed out.
For Hunter Dobrinsky, that's the guy that we talked about. He's made 3 3-pointers, all 3 of the threes he's taken so far. Lawton drives on him. Walla-Team up top. Nice back cut from Weber, who gets the easy finish.
And there's another right hand, right side of the rim finish. The game's all tied up at 27.
With 16 and a half to go, just started the second half. Dang watched by Lawton. It's been a fun matchup all afternoon. He takes it inside, can't finish, and a tough rebound is controlled by Augustine.
Walla-Team was leaking on the transition, but Notre Dame opted to slow it down.
Here he is here. Back to Lawton. These two have played a lot together. Lawton with a pull-up jumper, and he knocks it down.
There's a nice shot there from Emmett Lawton. Tritons reclaim the lead. Let's see if Lawton can keep up that shooting.
Not quite sure what the fans were chanting there, but it definitely got loud for a second in here. Here's Dobrinsky, watched by Guyette. Takes the opening, drives, and finishes. Hunter Dobrinsky now in double figures. He's got 11. As Guyette will take it. He gets an open look and goes in for the easy scoop and score.
One thing to keep in mind is that there have been a lot of loft under these passes. Edgewood's been prone to steal a lot of them, as there's a miss there from Dobrinsky. Something here for Notre Dame is make these quick passes, not a lot of these high arcing ones that they've been making a lot during this game so far.
Lawton couldn't get it. Rebound to Weber. Should have probably shot that, but he kicks it back out to Lawton. Drives on Dobrinsky, goes inside and finishes. Little kiss off the glass from Emmett Lawton. He's now up to 10 points, and Notre Dame has a 33-29 lead. Here's Coase, watched by Walla-Team. These two have been going at it all day, and Coase just traveled. Substitution for Edgewood, number 2, Donovan Nedlikoff will come in for Al Dang.
With Lamb, who's the leading scorer, and Dang, the second leading scorer, on the bench. Let's see if Notre Dame can take an opportunity here and go on a run.
Here's Walla-Team over to Augustine, watched by Nedlikoff. Lawton. Watched by Dobrinsky. Pulls it back. Here's Augustine, drives on the baseline, goes up and finishes.
Tritons on a run here. Now they're up by 6. Let's see if they can control it here early on in the second.
Here's Dobrinsky driving, and a nice finish. A tough finish from Hunter Dobrinsky. He's now up to 13 points.
You know, we talked about Lamb and Dang are usually the scorers here for this Edgewood squad. Dobrinsky has had a really nice game, 13 points.
There's a tough finish put up and in by Max Augustine. And now Dobrinsky leaking out ahead of everybody and gets another finish. He's now up to 15. That matches his total in their last game versus Mount Herb. So he's definitely picked up a lot of the scoring load. He can't stop Emmett Lawton, though. He's now up to 12, and we're trading buckets here at the beginning of the second half. Herring has an opening. That shot, couldn't tell if it was tipped or not, but the rebound caroms out to Dobrinsky. Jimenez, a deep three. And Guyette snatches a long rebound, something we talked about at the half. These long rebounds on these three-pointers put up by Edgewood. Notre Dame able to control it. They're looking to add to their 6-point lead. Walateam is open. He drives and a block. That'll be 2 shots.
Checking in on Hunter Dobrinsky, and his career high, it is 15. So that's one to keep in mind if he ends up getting another bucket in this game.
Dobrinsky just picked up the foul. It was one of those tough block charge calls. Goes against Edgewood that time. And Walateam, another good stroke from the free throw line. Al Dang will check in for Edgewood. Well, we have a break in the action really quick. Want to give all of our listeners out there a heads up. This upcoming Tuesday will be a doubleheader game for the boys and girls, both playing De Pere. That second free throw is short and controlled by Coase. So I'll be on the call for one game. Joey will be on the call for the second one, so looking forward to that. That's Tuesday, January 3rd, right here on the Triton Sports Network. First doubleheader that I can remember in a long time, so it should be a fun night.
Yeah, that's something I wish we had the last 2 years, as Notre Dame and De Pere, both sides of boys and girls basketball have been really competitive.
Yeah. There is that career high for Dobrinsky. He puts in another three-pointer.
18 points for Hunter Dobrinsky.
It's his 4th three-pointer of the game. Now they're putting some pressure on Lawton. Weber thought about it. Now he's going to try to drive, lost it, and he fouled. Lucas Coase diving for that loose ball.
It's called for the push as he was diving for the loose ball. Don't let that deter from hustle stats. Usually those come out in your direction.
Tritons lead it 40-36. We're under the 12-minute mark from the Schneider Triton Center. Dom D'Angelo, Joey Bonadonna, glad you're with us on a Thursday afternoon where some non-conference basketball. Dang kicks it out. Dobrinsky, he's been hot. That one's an air ball. Caught by Dang, who goes back up and finishes.
Back to a one-possession game.
And now Reggie Patterson calling for the press look. Lawton gets it across the timeline. Now he drives it. Tough shot. Can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Nedlikoff. Jimenez just traveled. And he knew it.
Something to keep a look on. Hunter Dobrinsky, this front row of the Notre Dame student section, trying to get in a little bit under his skin. You can kind of see the look on his face. He swatted at a Lawton layup on this end of the floor. Wondering if that's going to add some fuel for him here late down the stretch in the second half.
If he plays even, the common theme of basketball is if you get in a player's head and they start to want to take it out on you and they start to, that's not good for the opponent. So he's already had a fantastic start to this game as he almost blocks Weber there. Here comes Coase, going coast to coast, can't finish.
Nice defense there from Ethan Walateam to prevent that coast-to-coast bucket.
Lawton has been under a lot of pressure, as he has been all season. He's got it up top here. Drives on Nedlikoff, tough shot, and one.
Able to go back to the offhand on the left side of the bucket, but he finishes regardless. 42-38. Emmett Lawton up to 14.
He He looks gassed right now as he's standing on the free throw line. He's been playing a lot of big minutes for this Triton squad as that free throw bounces around and caroms out to Lamb, who checked back in.
That Preble game, last time out, he did not come off the floor in that game.
Definitely something to watch how the minutes are managed. Charles May getting set to check in at the next timeout. Nedlikoff and Guyette have been guarding each other all day. Here's Dobrinsky. That's the guy that you gotta watch. Augustine's on him. Kicks it to Coase. Goes in on Wallateam and is fouled.
Wallateam did kind of get in a swat on him. Foul's going to go against Lawton. That is his first. Wallateam still with no fouls. Bodes well for Notre Dame when he can stay on the floor.
He's in double digits with 10, so can't really afford to have him get into too severe foul trouble. That first free throw's good. Rader and May will check in for Augustine and Guyette. With 9:47 to go in the second half, in regulation, I should say, because the way this thing has been going,
you never know.
We might get some extra basketball. This is to cut it to 2. Bounces off.
Another rebound there from Ethan Wallateam. Interesting to see what those numbers are going to look like at the end of the season. He might be top of the FRCC when all is said and done when it comes down to rebounds.
He's going to be darn close when it comes to that. He's got to be close to a double-double here today. Weber in the lane, tough shot, but he knocks it down. A lot of contested shots that have fallen for each side. There's one there that is going to drop in off the front of the rim. And one. Coase will head back to the free throw line.
Yeah, foul going there against Rader. A late swat. Should have just stayed up and down. He's looking over at Bobo for a little bit of instruction, and he does in fact tell him that he did swat on that play.
Dobrinsky just checked out. Coase's free throw is good. And now
except for the shooter.
Mark Herring will check in for Coase. It's a 2-point game. Two teams have been trading buckets all afternoon. They get it into Lawton, once again working against Nedlikoff in the press. Throws it ahead to Wallateam underneath, and Rader could not catch it. So a turnover for the Tritons. Rader was going to be open, maybe was thinking about shooting it before he caught it. That happens if you play enough basketball in your life, obviously. And Edgewood with a chance to tie. Some good defense from Weber. They go underneath to Paul Krask, who just checked in at that last timeout. Shot in the lane is no good from Lamb, and the rebound is taken by Wallateam. So adding to that double-double that he's either at or very, very close to in this game. Now he gets it on the cut. Lawton and Nedlikoff gets him off him, drives, cross the lane, fouled, no shot. On the ground.
Crusader foul number 2.
Fouls against Donovan Nedlikoff.
That's his third off the bench. I'd be wondering if potentially we see Dobrinsky come in for him.
You got to think so, and that's another big foul because he's been the primary defender on Lawton, and he's done a pretty good job to this point in this game. Rader inside.
That's that size matchup. You want to see Andrew Rader go up strong, and he was able to knock it down.
He said weight room somewhere along the way. Gang watch by Lawton. Goes around his back, kicks it. Lamb for 3. That is an air ball, and it'll belong to the Tritons. Substitutions for Edgewood. Jimenez checks back in, as well as Dobrinsky.
And there's Lamb and Nedlikoff hitting the bench.
If you're Lawton, you got to look to attack here because that'll get Dobrinsky that much more tired, so he can't hurt you as much offensively. Here's that matchup again. Takes it on him to his left. Short shot, bounces around and drops in.
Shots like that are huge. Want to be able to stay ahead by as many scores as possible. And a timeout called.
Timeout called by Reggie Patterson. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here as each team can catch their breath a bit.
Apologies, just switching over. It is the second half, by the way. If you joined us halfway through, we are in the second half. Had the first half graphic up there.
7:22 left in regulation. Notre Dame leads at 48-42.
I believe I just spotted a Coach Winchester from De Pere.
Maybe getting a bit of a scouting report on these Tritons. As we mentioned, they'll be in action Tuesday next week. And one of us will be on the call, and then stay locked in because
it's gonna be a long night here at the Triton Center.
It's gonna be a fun one though.
Absolutely.
First day back for Notre Dame students from Christmas break. I know you go back to Madison, I believe you said on the 22nd, so you still have
quite a bit of time.
Quite a bit of time, which you will be using wisely, I'm sure, as you often do. Here's Jimenez, bounce pass underneath, and he gets it back, watched by May. Floater is blocked.
Nice block there from Andrew Rader, was able to get up and swat away from the rim. Let's see if Notre Dame can take advantage.
An emphatic denial from Andrew Rader. There's a steal, nearly picked up by Wallateam, and he will just get it across the timeline. Lawton and Dobrinsky. It's been a fun matchup. Here's a three. Bang!
Huge shot there from Emmett Lawton to make it a 7-point game. Excuse me, 51-42. I missed a bucket there. It's a 9-point game. There's Dang knocking it down.
That's a tough shot from Al Dang. Put him up to 8 points. Lawton with that three is up to 19. Just about at his average. He's averaging about 23 points a game.
We're going to be watching here. The number to get on the board of the top 10 scorers here in Notre Dame boys basketball history is 700 with Avery Lyons, former Edgewood College player.
Rader battling underneath, gets his own rebound and reverses it with the left hand. So some good strength shown from the sophomore, Andrew Rader. He's now up to 6 points and the lead is back up to 9.
Those are some numbers that you really want to see Andrew Rader start to have. The more shots he's getting up, the more dominance we're seeing inside, the better this Notre Dame team is going to be down the stretch.
How about that finish from Dang? Thought he was going to try to dunk it on one end, came underneath the rim and reversed it home on the other. Edgewood is not going to go down without a fight. You know that about this squad. Number 1 in the Badger West Conference, a 5-3 record. Rader catches on a beautiful big-to-big pass from Wallateam.
He's up to 8 now. This has been a fantastic game for Andrew Rader. A slow start, but the second half he's really started to turn it on both ends of the floor, just like we talked about.
You can see the raw talent from the young sophomore. Definitely someone in future years that is going to be relied on a lot for this Notre Dame boys basketball team. Speaking of guys relied on, there's Dobrinsky with his 5th three-pointer. Wallateam has an opening, kicks it to May. Tritons don't look to be in a rush, and that's how you know that this is a well-poised and well-coached team, not rushing into stuff. Lawton knocks it down.
What a shot there from Emmett Lawton. Makes it an 8-point game. He's up to 21, tied for the game high in points scored. He has just been outstanding for Notre Dame this season.
He's up to 21 on the night, just 2 shy of his average.
Career points for Emmett Lawton, 625 coming into this game, adding on 21, 646. He's getting close to that board with Avery Lyons there at the 10 spot.
He is getting very close. Should be passing that in the next few weeks if he keeps up this level of scoring. If you get 20 points basically per week, they usually play about 2 games per week, so we should have that after this game and maybe the next 2 weeks.
Hopefully on the other board, the girls' board, we're going to see another milestone hit. Gracie Gresh, the talented junior Wisconsin Badger commit, closing in on 1,000 points scored. And Allie LeClaire, many thought that number might never be touched. Gracie Gresh, she might be closing in on that over these next 2 seasons here on the Triton Center floor.
How good has she been for the girls team this year, huh?
Absolutely. Her and Trista Feta have been absolutely outstanding.
Man. Back to action here. Dang has it up top. Had an opening for a second, kicks it. Here's Herring, back to Dang. Herring guarded by Rader, goes reverse and he's blocked.
That's 3 blocks for Andrew Rader. This has been an outstanding game coming out for him.
Weber gets it across the timeline. And now a timeout was called by Ryan Babinski.
It's a 30-second timeout. We'll take this time to thank some of our sponsors here with the Notre Dame boys basketball program. The bronze sponsors, the Blum family, Chris and Rhonda Kumachek family, Mom, Grandpa, and Grandma of Ethan LeCaptain, the Maxfield family, Friends of NDA boys basketball, Eric and Kristen Nelson, Friends of Paul's Pantry, the Pierce family, and the Warden family. Thank you to our bronze sponsors, the gold sponsors, the GB Group of Baird Wealth Management, Bachi, Yagi and Family, Guyette Financial Group, RBC Wealth Management, Lemieux and Son Toyota, Mission Drywall Company, and Randall and Kathy Lawton. Thank you to our gold sponsors. We'll get our other sponsors here at our next timeout. But 57-49, under 4 minutes to go in this one. Can Notre Dame hold on and pick up what would be a huge non-conference victory?
They've got 3:40 to go in regulation to try to close it out. Bit of a zone look from Edgewood. They get it to Rader. Wallateam's got it in the post. They keep looking to double him. Keep swinging it. Weber's got an opening, drives, and a charge.
Yeah, we might have a discussion here, but no, that will be a charge going against Henry Weber. It's going to be his 4th, I believe. So who would you see coming off the bench for him? Would you go with 3 bigs with Guyette, Rader, and Wallateam out there?
I think maybe for the shooting aspect, you might want to give Charles May a look here.
That also as well.
There's a steal nearly by Wallateam. Dobrinsky able to regroup and get it over to Nedlikoff. And it is knocked out of bounds.
Here comes Adam Guyette, like we discussed. But he's going to come out for Rader. Leave Weber in there with 4 fouls.
He gets a nice ovation from the crowd for Rader as he checks out Dobrinsky. Another tough finish. On the left side of the rim, finished with his right hand.
Closing in on a 2-possession game now. Notre Dame needs a bucket.
Lawton being harassed. And they swat at it and steal it. Here's Dang.
Ooh, bodies collide, no foul.
I don't really know what that was. May have been a charge, maybe a block, maybe a travel. Nothing called. There's a wild shot that is put back down by Lucas Kos.
These officials seeming to just let the guys play. A lot of contact, no whistle on that possession.
Underneath to Guyette. Regathers himself and is fouled.
There he draws the foul. He's going to go to the free throw line. Hope to knock in these free throws, get it back to a 6-point game.
Crusader foul number 13, Lucas Coast. His third.
Guyette with more of a quiet outing by his standards of late. Only 6 points, but he's definitely made some big contributions to this Notre Dame squad. First free throw rattles out.
A little bit strong on that one. Had a couple of bounces.
Just looked over at the side, and I agree with them. Got to get some more arc on that. Playing with Adam for a long time, that's normally what happens. He normally misses his first one, and then he doesn't seem to miss much of the rest of the time.
5-point game. This is a huge one. Huge end of this game between Notre Dame and Edgewood.
Nedlikoff leaves it for Coase. Work on Wallet team. Spins. And a very difficult angle to bank it off of the glass, but that's exactly what he did.
Jimenez in double figures now. Here comes Emmett Lawton.
Guyette takes the opening, drives inside, foul. Can't get it to go, but he'll head right back to the free throw line.
Crusader foul number
With 1:46 to go, Notre Dame holding a 3-point lead over the Edgewood Crusaders. It has been a fun one all afternoon. Guyette just went 1 for 2 a moment ago. Knocks down the first of his second trip to the free throw line. He's now up to 7 points. And just like I said, he misses his first. He's now hit 3 straight.
And that 60 number is huge for Notre Dame. They've scored 60 twice in a game this season. They've won both of those games.
Dang thought about it, didn't fire the 3. Here's Dobrinsky. And now Coase driving, lost it, gets it back. Dobrinsky in the corner is going to fire it up. No, rebound tipped by Wallateam, and it's controlled by Augustine. Lawton in the corner being harassed. He gets it across the timeline to Wallateam, slows it down, and a foul.
I think it's going to go against Dobrinsky on that pass to Wallateam. That's going to be the 8th, and Wallateam's going to go to the free throw line. Huge free throws coming up for number 14.
Statistically, this is the guy that Edgewood would want at the free throw line, but based off of his performance today, maybe not so much. First one of a 1-and-1. Bit strong, rebound taken by Coase.
Edgewood needs a bucket.
Dobrinsky looking to give it to him. Nedlikoff back to Dobrinsky. Watched by Guyette. Coase tries to drive, lost it. Got it back. We're under a minute to go, so they got to start getting into their stuff. A fake and a good basket by Jimenez.
Timeout called by Edgewood. And we'll take this opportunity to thank our Diamond and Platinum sponsors. Diamond sponsors of Bay Title and Abstract, Nicolay National Bank, SLK Financial, Star and Roger Kimp's family, Cliff and Betty Wall. Thank you to our Diamond sponsors. The Platinum sponsors, Friends of NDA Boys Basketball, the law firm of Conway, Olenichek and Jerry, OSMS, Peter and Christina Mortel and family, Robin Beatty, Realty Executives, and Realtive Executives Fortitude, the Suds family, and Whipfleet.
Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to all of you who are listening. We are under a minute to go, 49 seconds. Dominic D'Angelo, Joey Bonadonna from the Schneider Triton Center. It's been a great one on a Thursday, the last Thursday of 2022. Notre Dame leads at 60-57 over Edgewood. Joey, if you're the Tritons in this situation, what are you looking for coming out of this timeout?
I'm hoping to get the ball into Emmett Lawton's hands. He's at a better second half shooting the ball if Edgewood wants to give them a shot. He's also typically your most sure free throw shooter.
if you're Edgewood, how long, there's 49 seconds left on the clock. How long do you wait until you start taking those intentional fouls?
I would think they're going to foul right out.
Almost got it there. There's a baseball pass thrown by Lawton, and Wawateam will have it. There's some bodies hitting the floor underneath the basket, and now Lawton is fouled by Coase.
And there's Emmett Lawton going to the line. Almost that bucket, almost lack of a shot there between Guyette and Wawateam. A little bit of slippage there. Might almost help you a little bit as more time is going to come off the clock here. Let's see if Lawton can knock down the bonus free throws.
About 12 seconds came off of the clock. Lawton first free throw rattles it in.
That's big. Now now Edgewood needs 2 buckets.
Mateo Jimenez just checked in for Mark Herring. Notre Dame has a 61-57 advantage. Big free throws here from Lawton. Goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. He's now at his season average of 23 points. Triton's up by 5. Here's the guy that you want to get the ball out of his hands, Hunter Dobrinsky. There's an attack and a foul.
That would have been a really unfortunate and one, as that would have potentially made it back down to a 2-point game.
Donovan Nedlikoff will be at the free throw line. Not sure what the game plan was necessarily there for Notre Dame. If you foul him on the way off, first free throw is good. Nedlikoff may not have the big scoring numbers, but he has done a pretty good job, all things considered, against Emmett Lawton. He goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe there. Lawton now is fouled by a few different Crusaders, it looks like, and he'll head right back to the free throw line.
It looks like that one's going to go against Dang. I did not quite see. Yes, it goes against Dang, and now in the double bonus, Lawton's going to get 2 free throws regardless. Just knocking down one of them is going to be huge.
That's definitely big, because as a free throw shooter, that double bonus takes a lot of pressure off of this first one, which Lawton just made.
So 4-point game. Free throw game always interesting down the stretch.
Lawton with 24 pending this free throw right here. He's now up to 25, and 25 points closer to getting his name on the all-time scorers list in boys basketball here at Notre Dame. There's a drive, no good from Nedlikoff. Rebound tipped, and it ends up in Lawton's hands, and he is now fouled.
A huge rebound there by Emmett Lawton, and I think that might. I say might because we've seen some crazier things in basketball recently.
We have.
That might ice it.
For those NBA fans out there, we just saw the Dallas Mavericks pull off a come-from-behind victory, and they trailed by 9 with about 25 seconds left. So things like this do happen. Lawton puts in the first free throw. Second free throw is good.
Timeout called by Brian Bobinski. If you don't use them, you lose them, so that's a big one to take. 27 points for Emmett Lawton. Time and time again, we've seen from him this season. Just unbelievable performances, night in, night out for him.
It hasn't always been easy, but he's been their main man all year. Another 27 for him today. So if you're Edgewood here, I would imagine that the ball has to find its hands in the hands of Hunter Dobrinsky. He's been their best three-point shooter in this game. What is Notre Dame going to do defensively, you think, here to try to prevent any sort of long three-point shot?
Full timeout here from Notre Dame, 66-59. It's been a fantastic matchup of two Catholic schools in the state of Wisconsin.
Both teams have left it all out on the floor here this afternoon. 15.8 left. Notre Dame has the 66-59 advantage. As we're set to go, here's Dang. Rushing it up the floor. Drives into Lawton, goes up, flips it up, no good. Rebound Walla team. And they will not foul. There's a steal by Dobrinsky. And he's going to put up a three. Can't get it to go, and that'll do it. So the Tritons go to 4-2 on the season, get a big non-conference win. And for Edgewood, they'll drop to 5-4. In a battle of two Catholic schools and two teams who had come into this game winning 2 straight.
Notre Dame talked about it during the game. Their next game is going to be here on the Triton Center floor against De Pere. That is going to be a big one for the Tritons. One of the best teams in the state of Wisconsin.
It'll be a big test for them. Meanwhile, for Edgewood, the next game will be at Oregon as they get back to their regular schedule.
Well, that'll just about wrap it up from here in the Triton Center. Tritons are again victorious 66-59 over Edgewood. For, you know what, why don't you go through it? You've done a better job at the new sign-off than I have.
All right. There's a lot of pressure here. For Principal Andrea Hurton, for Associate Principal Greg Masaryk, for School President Dr. Tom Kiley, for our Athletic Director Mr. Matthew Koenig, and for our founder and creator, Joey Bonadonna, I'm Dominic D'Angelo saying so long. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday night from the Triton Center.